Greetings to everyone. First of all, like I always said, I like to thank all our patrons who supported the channel. And also, thank you for the warm response on the last tutorial video. If you did not see it yet, I recommend to see that later too. The links will be available in the descriptions below. And also, if you're not subscribed yet, now is a perfect time to do it. Also, please click on the bell icon to get notified for more updates and tutorial videos. Done. Splendid. Today I'm going to show you how you can add new systems on ProjectArcade using your own media files and games. But before anything else, we must be familiarized with the RetroFE folder elements that we may use or encounter. Let's do a brief analyzation. We mentioned on the last video before that ProjectArcade may differ on a lot of aspects, but as long as RetroFE is concerned, it all fall under almost the same standards, just different method or theme. Once you get the hang of it, it's quite easy. Let's get started. In this illustration, we will compare an add-on that we will be using for both CoinOps and ProjectArcade, so we can spot the difference between the two front-end structures. In this example, we will be using Atari 800 XL add-on, RetroFE and CoinOps Basics. For example, a CoinOps next two add-on folder elements consist of the following: the medium artwork folder that holds all media files related to that specific add-on. Usually these media files represent the artworks in the game selection wheel, such as logos, background artwork, and video snaps, for its specific list of games or ROMs. But other front ends like ProjectArcade represent more elements as usual, but we will get to that later. Another element is the system artwork folder that also represent additional artworks for the game selections wheel. Still under the system artwork folder is the default file named system.png, float.png, and the logo.png. The systems.png is usually a full HD 1080 PNG file that fits the menu of game selection wheel. The float.png usually is a transparent controller artwork for the specific system or a famous game character for that particular system that move in a floating animation on screen. The logo.png represent the system's logo for the add-on. This logo is displayed in a watermark-like manner. Recommended max width is 400 to 600 pixels. And lastly, the ROMs folder, by default, the locations of game files or ROMs for that specific add-on. But you can change game locations by making changes on the settings configuration file that is located in the root of the add-on. More to that later. Now, the new add-on need additional artworks to be able to appear in the system selection menu or the main menu. This additional artworks are located at the collections /main/medium artwork to its specific folder type title, namely promo, logo, and video. The promo represent the background in the system selection menu or the main menu. Usually, it's a JPEG or a PNG file, 1920 by 1080 pixels resolution. But the resolution still depends on your choice or on your machine's capability. Then the logo represents the logo artworks in the system selection menu or the main menu on the first screen. The logo must be in PNG transparent format to show correctly on screen. Recommended maximum width is 600 pixels. And lastly, the video represent the video preview of that specific system on the main menu. The video file may come in AVI or MP4 format, and the resolutions may depend on your perspective or on your machine's capability. Meanwhile, these three types of media files should be named equivalent to the system name of that specific add-on. For example, if the add-on is Atari 800 XL, then these three files should be named Atari 800 XL also. And another important file is the blank text file Atari 800XL.txt as an example, that should be located in the collections /main/menu. If this text file do not exist, you must create one to make the add-on appear in the selection at the main menu. CoinOps uses an individual text file to list every add-on on the selections. These text files are blanks, and just carried out only the add-on file names. While other front ends like ProjectArcade uses a single menu.txt file to list all systems in an arranged manner in the main menu. Either way, it will work fine, it depends on the theme creator. I made a single menu.txt on ProjectArcade file, so I can arrange the systems whatever order I want it, regardless of its title names or system names in the main menu. Remember, the main menu is for the system selections such as Nintendo or Sega Genesis and so on. And the game selections wheel is for the specific games of the selected system add-on. What's in the medium artwork of every add-on? In the medium artwork folder, there are at least 3 primary elements for displaying a game in a menu wheel of every add-on. For CoinOps there is the logo, cover, and video. While on ProjectArcade there is also the logo, the fan art which the same as cover, and videos. As an additional option on ProjectArcade, depending on what template is used, there is also an additional option to display more info regarding a specific game selected. But it still depends on what theme or theme template were used, but more on theme template later on. The logo in the game wheel is almost in the same specs of the system logos on the main menu. Recommended max width is 400 to 600 pixels. The cover art, or the fan art, represent the background in the game selection menu or game wheel. Usually, it's a JPEG or a PNG file, 1920 by 1080 pixels resolution. On CoinOps the background artworks on the game wheel are 1120 by 1080 pixels resolution, but it still depends on your perspective if you want a higher or custom resolutions. Lastly, the game video snaps for the game wheel menu. Video can be in HD, 720p, or Full HD, 1080p or Ultra HD, 4K resolutions at 16 by 9 aspect ratios. If the system is more on the retro era, usually it have a 4 by 3 aspect ratios. NES is one example. Resolutions may vary from 320 by 240 pixels, 640 by 480 pixels, or up to 4K resolutions. Aspect ratio will depend on what era or monitor used for the emulated system it was from, but depending on the theme, these can be override to whatever resolutions you may use, as long your computer can handle it. Now let's head on to the settings configuration file that represent the independent settings for the specific add-on, which is the Atari 800 XL. This is also located in the root of the add-on. Now, if we open the settings configuration of the Atari 800 XL with a text editor or similar app, we will be viewed upon a few more settings that we need to take account for. In this example we will use Notepad to view or edit the file for Atari 800 XL add-on. In this file, you will see 6 lines of text, but on other instances, we can add more settings in this file, but more to that later. On the first line, you will notice a hash or a number sign at the beginning of the text. The hash means that the first line is omitted in the overall configurations. Anything omitted will not take effect while RetroFE is booted. On the second line you will find the list path for the ROM files. In other words, it's where the game files are currently founded by the emulator. If this line is omitted, the default ROMs directory will be in the root directory of the add-on system folder. In this example, the Atari 800 XL add-on is located in the collections /Atari 800 XL /ROMs folder. Now on the fourth line is the list extensions. Usually ROM files comes in a form of an archive, like zip, RAR, 7Z, TAR, bin, ROM, etc. In some instances, we use batch files or BAT files to execute extra command line or arguments for the emulator, such as games for Windows and other emulators. In this example, the Atari ROM files are run directly by the RetroArch emulator. But some emulators needed batch files to run properly, and can be simple to very complicated on some occasions. But do not worry, Most of the emulated systems run directly on their respective emulators. No batch files needed. Moving on, in the last line on the settings configurations is the launcher settings. As you can see, the launcher for Atari 800XL is named Atari 800XL. That Atari 800XL launcher is in the launchers.windows, located in the root of the frontend in a form of Atari 800XL configurations. As a reminder, in this example, the settings configuration at the Atari 800XL folder must be in sync with the launcher configuration, which is the Atari 800XL.conf. One more thing. Many users are a bit confused sometimes on where should we put the emulator for the specific add-ons. The answer may vary, depending on how the add-ons are created. Just for example, on CoinOps, the official emulator folder is Emulators Official, that is located in the root folder of the CoinOps frontend. Now in our example, the CISO Official folder is situated in the Emulators Official folder. In CoinOps, CISO Official is equivalent to RetroArch Emulator. We can double-check the launcher file for the emulator directory for that specific add-on. We can open the Atari 800XL.conf with Notepad or similar app. In this file you will see the first line. The executable settings from where is the emulator is stated. The word after the equal sign is Emulators Official. Under the Emulators Official folder is the CISO Official folder from where the emulator applications for Atari 800XL is located. Now, if we boot RetroFE CoinOps Next 2, the Atari 800XL add-on is now available in the main menu, and the games are also now selectable in the game wheel menu. If you are wondering why we also talk about the CoinOps process, everybody knows that CoinOps Next 2 has the widest selection of add-on out there. Also, it's been the front-end that was very popular for many before, and may I say even now, because of its simplicity and ease of use. And I know many of our patrons are CoinOps and Hyperspin user before, and we know that you want to migrate those collections to ProjectArcade too. That is why ProjectArcade was designed to be compatible to CoinOps Next 2 frontend. In comparison, the folder structures of CoinOps and ProjectArcade are not far-fetched from each other. That is why we talk about the basics on RetroFE, especially about CoinOps. That will serve also as additional guides on how would we go about handling ProjectArcade. Now we will head on to the basics of ProjectArcade. On the left is the Atari 800XL add-on for CoinOps. And on the right is the Atari 800XL for ProjectArcade. You will notice that the two add-ons folder structures are similar. Let's go down one level in the Medium Artwork folder. On ProjectArcade there are additional elements that are available. First is the story, which provide additional background info for all games under Atari 800XL. Second is the Techno Kart folder that represent the 3D box art for all games. The fan art folder is equivalent to the cover folder on CoinOps, just different folder name. 16:9 aspect ratio or 4:3 aspect ratios up to 4K resolutions. The video snaps on Atari 800XL add-on is 4:3 aspect ratio, 320x240p resolutions in this example. The logo are quite the same standard of CoinOps, the max width is 400 to 600p resolution. You can replace any media file with a higher or a lower resolutions if you want to. Still depends on your perspective or machine's capability. Now, let's go back and enter the System Artwork folder. Compared to ProjectArcade, CoinOps has 3 artwork needed to display the add-on correctly. While ProjectArcade you only have the company.png that is equivalent to the logo.png, just different name but almost same functions. Now let's open the settings configuration file. You noticed that the two files are almost the same, except for a few details. We mentioned earlier that all lines starting with a hash or a number sign are omitted on the configurations. And at the bottom part, there are 6 additional lines. These are needed if you are using the Blur theme extension add-on. More on theme extension later. I recommend to add these line on every system that you will add to ProjectArcade. These will show the blue and red boxes correctly on screen. Now let's go to the main folder that is located at the Collections folder. All elements or media files under the Collections/main folder are displayed only in the main menu selection. And all media files from the add-on folders are displayed only at the game wheel menu. The theme extension add-on media files are also displayed at the game wheel menu. Similar to CoinOps, there is also the Settings.conf, the medium artwork folder, the playlists folder that has the same functions like CoinOps. The difference is the menu.txt that holds all list of systems in the main menu. Then on the playlists folder, files are also similar to CoinOps functions. Please watch the first tutorial to have a better understanding about adding and removing existing systems. On ProjectArcade, in the Collections/main/medium artwork folder, there are also additional changes on folder structures. But do not worry if this gets confusing. In reality, the folders are with different file names but almost the same functions, just like CoinOps. ProjectArcade has more added elements. Once you understand what folder is for what functions, it will be easy to handle all media files. On the main/medium artwork folder, the primary elements needed are the following. First is the console folder that represent the console, cabinets or the gadget's transparent PNG file. Recommended max width is 600p resolutions. Next is the default logo, logo HD and logo 2 folder. These folder are all needed for the themes, settings, and transitions. The default logo has a max width of 400p resolution while logo HD is up to max width of 1920p resolution. The same goes to the fan art 2 and fan art 3 if available. The fan art is equivalent to the promo art in CoinOps. On ProjectArcade it is 1920 by 1080p up to 4K resolutions. The logo anima represent the animated logo on the main menu. You can enable and disable animated logo in the settings menu. More on animated logo on future tutorials. The machines represent cabinet artworks for MAME and other arcade systems. The artworks are displayed on the main menu when it's enabled through the settings menu. The mascot and the mascot 2 represent the famous characters for that specific systems. Mascot is facing the left of the screen and Mascot 2 will be facing the right of the screen. Recommended max height is 800p pixels or higher. The Neon logo is an alternate logo, can be enabled through the settings menu. The story represents additional info regarding the selected system in the main menu, while story 2 is just for the credits on the main menu. Lastly, the video 2 is the default video used in the main menu, while the unified video is an alternate video theme that can be enabled and disabled through the settings menu also. If you noticed, there is a Cmenu folder in the main folder within the Collections folder. Under the Cmenu you will find another set of folders. Each of folder has a menu.txt that represent different theme settings for the main menu that can be selectable on the settings menu. You can do also necessary changes on each category or theme on these file menus. As a reminder, just make changes on these files if you're adding new systems that are not on the default listings. Another important file is the Meta Hyperlist file that is located in the Meta/Hyperlist folder in the root of ProjectArcade. The Meta Hyperlist file displays additional info for the highlighted title on the game wheel, such as game name, manufacturer, developer, year, genre, ratings and more. It also comes in a form of an XML files. These Hyperlist XML files are compiled, upon boot of the frontend, into a single file named meta.db. But more on Hyperlist on our future tutorials. Now we go to the emulators, which is the default emulators directory for ProjectArcade. In this example, the emulator is RetroArch. Very similar to CoinOps but different folder name. On ProjectArcade, it's RetroArch bits folder which is located in the emulators folder. So in regards with the launcher to be used, it should be calling the RetroArch emulator executables in emulators /retroarchbits/retroarch.exe. To be sure, check both Settings.conf on the Addon root folder and the Atari 800XL retroarch.conf in the launchers.windows folder, located in the root of ProjectArcade. Now we boot ProjectArcade without the theme extension add-on for Atari 800XL. This will use only the default add-on for ProjectArcade. Now let's talk about theme extensions. The theme extensions are just like a standalone theme that can override the existing or default theme for the game wheel menu. For now, the theme extensions will only be overriding the game wheel menus, and not the main menus. On ProjectArcade there are multiple theme extensions for just one add-on. For this example, the Atari 800XL has 3 different theme extensions add-on. All theme extensions add-on are located at the layouts /bits/collections/ folder. The theme extension base folder must be exactly the same name of the add-on itself. In this case it's Atari 800XL. Inside this folder you will find 3 theme extension add-on for Atari 800XL. The blur mode, hyperspin mode, and the mode 1 or default mode. Another folder is the layout folder for the Atari 800XL. At the layout folder you will find few more elements needed for the theme to show correctly. As you can see, the theme extensions will have its own font directory, sound, images and video directory. There is also the layout.xml file which is the theme itself. For now the default theme is the hyperspin mode. If you want to change this, just copy the layout.xml file from the other theme extensions add-on folder like the blur mode or the mode 1. And overwrite the one in the layouts /bits/collections/ Atari 800XL /layout/ folder. On default, you can choose theme extensions on the settings menu on ProjectArcade when booted. You can use the theme extension add-ons that suit your available media artworks. For example, if you're adding a system from the CoinOps build, the usual media artwork will be logo, cover, and video. You can put additional artworks like 3D boxes, storylines, and the meta files for the game titles to display on ProjectArcade correctly. But compiling all of these artworks is just a pain sometimes, and took a very long time to complete. You can also do it simple with ProjectArcade, by using a compatible theme template that suits the add-on. No additional file needed. On the latest ProjectArcade build, there are a lot of theme extension that you can use. Yes, you can use any theme extensions to another system if you want to. You can experiment with these templates until you are satisfied. If you want to use CoinOps add-on for ProjectArcade, just use existing template that suits your media files. There is also an existing CoinOps theme template available. All theme templates are located at layouts/bits/collections folder. If you're using the CoinOps templates, do not forget to copy the system artwork folder that came with CoinOps add-on. Example, if you're adding a console-type system add-on, then use a similar layout from the existing theme available. Just need to copy, paste, and rename the theme template folder, exactly the system's add-on are named. Please be noted that theme extensions may sometime be unique to one another. Some may require more files than other themes. Some can be simple while some can be very complex. And also, some have big impact on your machines and require more CPU and GPU power. So it will depend on your perspective, on how far will you go on theme extensions. We will be doing more unique theme extensions on the coming weeks for ProjectArcade, so stay tuned. So, in our example, if we are adding Atari 800XL add-on, we must edit first on the playlist on the main menu by editing the menu.txt and all playlist that includes it. And we must also add the needed emulator and the launcher files for the add-on. Then we can add optional files like the meta hyperlist, story, and other media files. Then add available ROM files for Atari 800XL. Finally, you can use compatible theme template for your additional add-on. I hope this tutorial helps you understand how ProjectArcade and CoinOps works. By making this tutorial, it also given us more idea on how can we improve the process of adding and removing add-ons on ProjectArcade. We would like to thank you all patrons who supported the channel. Rest assured that there will be more good stuff coming your way. Special shout out for Jerry Leet, Big Ripper 28, and all patrons who given extra donations for the channel. If you share our passions and like to support the channel, feel free to donate. Thank you. Links will be in the descriptions below. Don't forget to subscribe and leave a like, and to catch future videos like this, click the bell notification icon. If you have suggestions and query, just leave your comments below. Have a great day.